Yo, it's finally time. Gotham Knights is almost here. This is the time for the final preview from IGN. Let's see it.
Over the course of our month-long IGN First coverage, we saw a lot about the world and lore of Gotham Knights, the crafting and gear mechanics, the suits and customization options.
The
But
suits.
there's been one green Riddler-esque question mark surrounding the whole game up
Where
to
is
this point.
Batman?
How does it play?
Oh,
Well, I played about 3 hours of it at a recent hands-on event, and the answer is, well, it's complicated. What's for certain, at least, is that Gotham
Okay.
Knights is a wild.
all right. That is not good. That is not good. If the first thing and he says that it's complicated, that's not good. All right, but we keep hope alive.
That feels appropriately massive and dense, to the point where even a heavily guided 3-hour demo felt like just a scratch on the surface.
Okay, that's a good. All right, that's good. That means there's a lot of stuff to do.
My
Robin.
demo was broken up into 4 chunks. I played the tutorial that involved following a lead on Batman's last case, then jumped into a new save to play the first chapter of Harley Quinn's multi-part villain arc, then continued with several open world challenges related to Harley's story, and to put a cap on the event, I jumped into a late game save that
Ooh, the
let me
co-op.
and the internet's own Destin Legary face off against Harley in the finale of her arc. And that leads to one of the main reasons why my takeaways from this event are complicated. Gotham Knights is a game that is centered around building up your
Yo, what
character,
was this?
setting and understanding.
What was that? Did he like shoot a bomb?
Why my takeaways from this event are complicated. Gotham Knights is a game that is
Was that Robin that like threw something on the ground and electrocuted everybody?
centered around building up your character, setting and understanding your own skills and gear, and developing your own playstyle. Something that I just didn't really get to do, since I was jumping around to different save files and trying out the different characters. Without that feeling of building up my own character and progressing through their skill tree, combat felt like it was missing a key ingredient. On a very basic level, Gotham Knights combat is built on the foundation of the Batman Arkham games. But once you get past the shallow waters, things go in very different directions. Here's where things will be familiar. You press the direction and the attack button, and your character gracefully spins, leaps, or slides towards the closest enemy for a quick strike that initiates a combo.
That's like
Enemies
the-
will also
that's like the
telegraph their own
typical-
attack with an icon that appears over them, giving you plenty of time to dodge out of the way to avoid damage.
That's like the
All super
typical
smooth.
Batman
There
like
are
gameplay.
a ton of slick animations, and you're even rewarded for timing your button presses as opposed to just button mashing, just like in the Arkham games.
Yep.
And that's it. That's where the comparisons end, because everything else feels very different. Gotham Knights is much more abilities focused, with a meter at the bottom right that governs your ability to use your momentum skills. As you'd imagine, you gain meter by dealing damage and using your dodge.
Oh, yeah,
to
so it
avoid
was
attacks with
Robin.
good timing. Once you fill a bar, you can use one of your 8 equipable momentum skills for a variety of different uses.
Oh, so I wonder how that feels in a boss fight, like the co-op in a boss fight. So I see Robin and Red Hood fighting Harley Quinn. I wonder how it feels.
Momentum skills for a variety of different uses. Red Hood has a close range throw that deals a ton of damage to a single target. Robin has a holographic distraction that he can throw down to take some heat off of him and the team. Batgirl can toss out a Batarang barrage to deal a bunch of piercing damage right in front of her. And Nightwing has a cool acrobatic leap attack that lets him get the jump on an enemy from far away. There were also moments where certain momentum abilities were the key to defeating specific enemy types that were armed with powerful
What is
armored
he?
attacks.
What is he shooting out of his hand? Is he like some Spider-Man action?
Piercing abilities beat armored attacks, for instance, so anytime I saw an enemy with a red attack warning, I had to counter with my own piercing attack, whether that was Batgirl's Batarang Barrage or Robin's Staff Spin attack. All of this sounds great, and I'm very much looking forward to the progression of getting to unlock new momentum abilities, purchase skills that synergize with them, find and craft new pieces of gear, add mods that further enhance certain effects, and find a preferred playstyle for each of my characters when the game actually comes out. My
I think the skill tree is gonna be insane. I think it's gonna be so much to do that I believe they even said it. Like the dev said it, that it's gonna be like something that you have to play through multiple times in order to get the I guess the full effectiveness of the skill tree. I'm excited for that.
concern is how well that progression, those momentum abilities, the gear, and the deep well of customization options are going to be able to carry the whole experience.
I
Because,
agree.
on a fundamental level, I found Gotham Knights combat to be very flashy, but also kind of bland. Fights quickly started to feel very routine, with very similar enemies in every encounter, to the point where I felt like I had to mix up my tactics, not because I was being forced to, but just to try to make things a little more interesting. My favorite character ended up being Red Hood because he excelled at a hybrid style of both range and melee,
My
which felt
guy.
quite different from what everyone else was able to do. Plus, he had some neat tricks, like being able to grab an enemy, place a bomb on them, and then kick them away so you can explode the bomb with a gunshot.
Yeah, I'm
The other
so excited to
characters
play
have their
Red
fun
Hood.
surprises too. They all generally control the same, which makes jumping between them very easy, but they each have their own combat/stealth focuses and playstyles that are defined by what you put points into on their skill tree. Batgirl can be built to be a single target DPS machine, or a nearly uninterruptible tank that can self-revive, or a stealthy hacker that can make herself invisible to security cameras. Nightwing can
Okay,
build himself to
that's
enhance his
cool.
jumping abilities and deal massive critical hit damage. He can become a slippery acrobat that gets extra dodges and faster momentum meter gain, or he can be built more like a team leader designed for co-op play. Red Hood can lean more heavily into his range
I feel like Nightwing would probably be the closest to, I guess, Batman. Don't you think?
attacks by giving them higher crit chances and more damage. He can become more of a close-range bruiser that aims to get in and grab his opponents, or he can increase the damage he deals towards various different factions of enemies. And finally, Robin can build himself to have a game plan centered around his decoy. He can become a true Batman successor by investing in stealth skills, including Arkham game mainstays like Vantage takedowns, or he can focus on gadgetry and elemental damage.
Well, I guess Robin
Just
would
by
probably
glancing
be
at
the
skill tree,
closest
it's
to
easy to see that
Batman.
There's a lot to get excited about for each character every time you gain skill points. And that's where I'm torn on Gotham Knights. When I look at the skill trees, the locked momentum abilities, the wide variety of suits that I can unlock, and I think about going through it all with a buddy and taking on more challenging missions, I can't help but get excited at the idea of what Gotham Knights could be. But in my playtime with this demo, things were very far off from that idealized version. Beyond combat, Gotham Knights is very impressive. The city of Gotham is absolutely gorgeous. The many different modes of traversal are all fun in their own way, whether that's by motorcycle, Batgirl's glide, Nightwing's glider, Red Hood's mystical air hops, or Robin's short-range teleportation. The Belfry seems like an awesome headquarters full of optional conversations that deepen the relationships between the four heroes. And you can even play Spy Hunter.
That's pretty cool. A
And the
game within a
bonding play
game.
feels extremely well implemented. Since the demo was so focused on the Harley Quinn subplot, I didn't get much of a feel for the overall story of Gotham Knights and how the Court of Owls fits into everything, but I'm very into what I've seen of the characters so far. There are great dynamics between each of them, with the standout for me being between Red Hood and Nightwing. Nightwing's trying his best to step into the role of a leader, while Red Hood finds himself struggling between his thirst for violence and his desire to honor the legacy of Batman. There's a great scene in the Belfry where Nightwing inadvertently touches a nerve by bringing up a story that sets Jason off, and you really get to see the pain and anger that Red Hood is
Hey, I don't know if you guys watched my video about Red Hood. I'm gonna put it up below, but it sounds kind of familiar.
struggling
Just
to keep
saying.
under the surface.
I don't know what's worse. Having a chunk of my life taken away from me, or coming back to everyone thinking I'm gonna snap.
He's probably gonna snap.
Sorry, Jason. We shouldn't have. I shouldn't have treated you like an outsider.
It's very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque, and if Gotham Knights can pack the whole game with moments like this, then its characters will almost certainly become a highlight of the whole experience. Also, just so you know, this whole fight in the prison, it's set to a punk rock version of Livin' La Vida Loca. So, you know, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's pretty
Gotham
cool.
Knights is not an easy game to demo, and while I walked away from my hands-on time less than impressed with many aspects of combat, I still found myself interested in playing more. We'll see how it all comes together when Gotham Knights releases on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on October 21st. For more on Gotham Knights, don't miss the first 16 minutes of gameplay, as well as Harley Quinn's boss fight gameplay. And for everything else in the Batman universe, keep it here on IGN.
So it seems like his biggest problem with the game is combat, which, I mean, it's a horde game. Like, you walk into a room, it's probably gonna be waves of enemies. I mean, that's kind of typical. I don't know if you guys have ever played like the Batman games. It's kind of typical. It's kind of something that just happens. So I mean, at the end of the day, I think the story is probably what's gonna grab a lot of people, and I think it's gonna be really fun. And I think the skill tree is going to be really good, and the end game is what's going to really like make this game amazing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you have enjoyed the video, check out my other reactions to Gotham Knights as we prepare for the October 21st release. Thank you guys for being here, and yeah, peace.